Okay, so find a chair that you can sit, where you can sit really tall. So show couple different views here. Most chairs, when we sit back, we dump into our low back and we turn the pelvis. The pelvis rotates back or posteriorly. So we want to come to the edge of the seat so that we can sit with the pelvis rotating or tilting forward. Okay. And then with the soles of your feet on the floor, you're just going to lift your heels and then drop your heels and lift your toes. And lift your heels and drop your heels and lift your toes. And the whole time, you want to keep a little bit of an arch in your back and your spine nice and tall. So we're going to work with feet, knees, muscles in the legs, and a little bit of twisting. So you'll notice that my chair has an open back, and if yours doesn't, that's okay. We can set up without that being the case for some of the movements as well. So just after a few rounds of that, we'll just come to neutral, soles of the feet to the floor. And here, with the soles of your feet on the floor, just feel for lifting the arches of your feet. So we've got these diaphragms in the feet that kind of move like jellyfish. Yeah. Lift those arches, then lift your pelvic floor, and then exhale, relax. Inhale, lift, and exhale, relax. Inhale, lift. So you're lifting the arches of the feet. So especially if your feet tend to fall inward, keep the knees in line. And then release. Good. All right, so now in the same position, we'll just bend and extend the right leg. I'll turn the face. So I'm doing this is extending my leg and then bending it back, working the knee. If it helps you to have your hands behind you for this, behind your back. And now we're feeling for the movement in the knee joint, the knee experience, as that diaphragm does the same thing. So bending and extending. Good. And then after 8 to 12 repetitions on both sides, come back to just sitting up tall at the edge of your seat, relaxing. Good. Then we'll allow the back to round, the hands to come forward and tuck your chin. And then slide your hands back towards your hip crease and arch your back away from the back of the chair. Okay. And go back and forth with that a few times. So the cat-cow movement. And come back to neutral spine, which is a little bit of arch in the back of the head. So the back of your head, right where the back of your skull is, reach that towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. Chin tucked in slightly, a little double chin. So ears are stacked over shoulders. And then reach your left hand behind you, either to the edge of the chair, behind you on the seat of the chair, and spin to the left. Right hand comes to the outside of your left leg. Close your eyes here to feel for that diaphragmatic moving in the pelvic floor as you inhale and exhale. And your next exhale, release, and just a slight twist in the opposite direction, then back to center. And then inhale, spine comes long, back of the skull reaches for where the ceiling and the wall meet. And close your eyes down here, feel the lift through your spine, and then right hand to the edge of the chair or the seat behind you as you spin to the right, left hand to the outside of the right leg. Release, and just a little counter twist in the opposite direction. Great. Okay, now you're going to need a block. And if you don't have a block, probably a pillow will work. And you're going to take your block between your knees in this orientation. So this is the middle width. And you're going to squeeze the block with your knees while you lift tall through your spine. And then just release the effort and squeeze again. Press in on the block, squeeze and release. And squeeze and release. Do that a few more times, squeezing the block, maybe for a count of 5 seconds. And then releasing. Great. And from here, we'll take the block and put the block between our ankles. Okay, so now you're just seeing my ankle. So knees stacked over ankles, squeeze the block with your ankles. Lift the arches of your feet, squeeze the block for 3, 2, 1, and then release. And squeeze the block and release. Okay, do that a few more times. Squeeze the block and release. Okay. And then you can remove the block. And now bring your hands to the outsides of your legs. Feet right underneath the knees. And then press your legs out into your hands and resist back with your hands. For 3, 2, 1, release. And then press your legs out into your hands. And then release. Okay, so try to hold it for anywhere from 3 to 5 seconds. And release. A couple more times. Okay. All right, now release that effort. And now we'll take the right foot out and we're going to point and flex through the toes, or the ankle rather. We're going to flex the ankle and then point the toes, extend the ankle. You could do this in bed as well, right? So now turn the sole of the foot in towards midline and out towards the lateral. In and out. And notice how when you work the ankle, you're going to feel that all the way up into the head of your femur. Good. Then you're going to release that foot down. If you need to slide over to the edge of your chair, take your foot and stretch the quad. I have the opposite hand on the opposite side of the chair. So my leg is to the outside of the chair. Don't fall off the chair here. If for whatever reason, if that doesn't quite work in your body, you could just bring the top of your foot back to the floor. And press the top of your foot into the floor and stretch the front of your quad that way. Okay. And then back to the starting position. We'll take the left foot out and we'll flex and point. And then invert and evert. Sole facing midline, sole facing outer, and feel what action, how the action goes all the way up through your leg. Good. Then either top of the foot onto the floor as you kind of open up the front of the quad. Maybe you can reach back and take your foot, take your opposite hand to the chair, somewhere to hang on for balance, and pull your heel back towards your butt. Turn my chair to show a different orientation. Okay. Or just like this, top of the foot down. And really, if you have the top of the foot onto the floor, it's a nice opening for the top of your foot. Kind of press into the foot. Press the foot into the floor, rather. Really feel for an opening there. Great, then we'll come back to center. Back to the original starting position. So you're still on the edge of your chair, sitting up nice and upright. And now, to the best of your ability, let's bring the left ankle onto the right knee. So you're sitting up nice and tall. And then this may be as far as you go, or you might be able to just slightly lean forward. Now, I'll turn my chair so you can see that I haven't, when I do this, I don't want to change. I don't want to dump back into my back like this. I'm going to keep that anterior tilt in my pelvis, and then I rock forward slightly. You could take the edges of the back of the chair, if that helped, or the seat of the chair. Keep the collarbones open and slightly fold. Play around with. So we're working this the outer hip here. Now, can you take the foot that's lifted, pull toes back towards shins, and line up your ankle with your knee? Good. Release that. Back to center. Take the opposite side. So now the right ankle's on the left knee. Again, nice and tall in the spine, and maybe there's an ability to shift forward slightly. You might take the bottom of the seat like so and shift forward. And some of you might be able to come pretty far forward. All right, just this is for the outer hip. Keep this foot flexed. So toes pointing back towards shins. And then we'll release that take the soles of your feet to the floor, and then just let your, so you gotta really be on the edge of your seat here, just let your knees sort of wave back and forth. And feel how this movement is all the way, you could close your eyes here, feel this movement all the way from the soles of your feet up through your knees into your pelvic bowl and the hips. Good, excellent. Right, then we'll use the chair in some standing postures. So you want to set the chair up in front of you. You're behind the chair. Okay, so we're in a Tadasana stance. Actually, if you do have a block, squeeze the block, take the block between your upper inner thighs and squeeze the block, really squeeze it with your legs and draw your arches of your feet up. Draw the arches of your feet up. Good. So in your Tadasana, so now we're just going to take a slight bend in the knees and stand back up. A slight bend in the knees, knees tracking over the ankles and stand back up. Try not to, if you tend to hyperextend the legs, when you stand back up, keep a small bend in the knees if you hyperextend your knees, okay? So bending and extending, flexing the knees, extension through the knees. Just feeling into the knees, don't take it too far, first time. Good. Then if you've got the block between the legs, you can take the block out and keep the right foot forward, sort of right underneath the chair, and take your left foot back. You want room for the right knee to bend, so adjust your chair accordingly, okay? Good, then here we go. We're gonna pick up the back heel, and then we're gonna drop the back heel as we bend through the front knee. Then straighten the front leg, so the back heel's down. You should feel a little stretch in your calf, good. Then pick up the back heel, come up onto your toes, and as you set the back heel down, bend through the front knee, same time. Have it happen simultaneously. Now, if your knee is tracking forward of your ankle, you want to move your foot a little further forward. And then straighten both legs. Pick up the back heel. Drop the back heel as you bend through the front knee. Any amount is fine. Okay. And then straighten both legs. Pick up the back heel. Now, if your balance is okay, you could extend the arms up here. You have the chair there in front of you to put your hands on when you need to. Drop the back heel as you bend through the front leg. Straighten through both legs. Pick up the back heel, kind of shift your weight forward. Drop the back heel, bend through the back knee, or front through the front knee. Straighten both legs. Do it one more time. Pick up the back heel. Drop the back heel as you bend the front knee. Straighten both legs. Hands down to your sides. Hands on the chair. Both feet step back. So you're away from the chair enough to come into sort of an L shape with your body. Gather your kneecaps up, 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 up. So squeeze the kneecaps up towards the hips. Keep the back of your neck long. A little bit of forward tilt in the pelvis. Good. Now, from here, some of you can come forward into a little back bend. Hands on the chair. Hopefully the chair is somewhere where it's not slipping. And then let's step the left foot forward. Right foot is back. Right toes can be turned out slightly or in the same line as the left foot in terms of the direction they're pointing, not necessarily on a balance beam or on train tracks, right? Okay, we'll lift the back heel. And then as we set the back heel down, we bend through the front knee any amount. But we want the knee to be lined up over the ankle and tracking over the middle toes. Okay, middle toes. Then straighten through both legs. Lift the back heel. Drop the back heel as you bend through the front knee. Straighten both legs. Lift the back heel, kind of shift forward. Set your heel down, bend your knee. Straighten your legs. Those of you that want to try it without the chair, we lift the back heel in the hands. Then set the back heel down as we bend through the front knee. This is the warrior one pose. Then straighten the legs. Then lift the back heel. Drop the back heel as you bend through the front knee. Straighten both legs. Okay. One more time. Lift the back heel. Drop the back heel as you bend through the front knee. Straighten both legs, hands down to your sides or to the chair. Step back with both feet and come into that L shape with your body. So your pelvis is even. All right, the sit bones are kind of tipped up towards that same space that we talked about with the back of the head, where the ceiling and the wall meet. We're tipping the sit bones in that general direction. Good. Let's step the right foot forward again, and now we'll make it a little more challenging if you want. You can always stay with the hands on the chair. Okay. But now, if you want to, we'll lift the back heel, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, drop your back heel, bend through the front knee, and open your arms, put your arms into goalpost arms, right? And open through your chest. And then inhale, straighten the arms, straighten the front leg, and exhale, hands down to your sides. Lift the back heel as you inhale the arms up. Exhale, drop the back heel, bend through the front knee, and open the arms into this, what we call goalpost or cactus arms. And then straighten the front leg, straighten the arms. Exhale, release arms down to your sides. Let's do that a couple more times. Lift the back heel, lift the arms up. Drop the back heel as you bend the front knee and bring the arms in goalpost. Straighten the front leg, lift the arms up. And then exhale, hands down to your sides. If you're using the chair, you're just going through the same things. You're lifting the back heel, setting the back heel down as you bend through the front knee, straightening both legs, and back to the start. Inhale, lift the back heel, lift the arms. Exhale, drop the back heel, bend through the front knee and open up the chest. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, release hands down to your sides. Then hands to the chair, step both feet back and come into that L shape with your body. Keep pulling the kneecaps up. That's the diaphragm, the kneecap diaphragm, the knee diaphragm. I'm going to keep that really floating and strong, both. So keep the kneecaps pulling up, engagement in your legs. Step the left foot forward. Both legs are straight. Inhale, come up off the back heel, reach the arms up. Exhale, drop your back heel, bend through your front knee and open into the goalpost. Okay. Straighten both legs. You can offset that back foot if you want to, turn the toes out. More of a typical warrior one stance. Okay, come up off the back heel. Exhale, bend through the front leg, set the back heel down, open up into goalpost. Straighten the front leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down to your sides. Inhale, shift your weight forward, pick up the back heel, arms up. Exhale, set the back heel down, bend through the front knee and come into goalpost with your arms. Chest is open. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands down to your sides. If you've got the chair, you're just lifting the back heel, setting the back heel down, bending through the front knee, straightening both legs. Good, and then we'll all meet with feet back. Really reach through your fingertips, but draw your shoulder blades down and in. And keep the kneecaps pulling up so there's engagement in your legs. Okay, now from here, walk the feet forward slightly. Enough so you can bend through your knees and reach the arms forward and the hips back. Utkatasana. Then shift weight to your right foot, to your left foot. Just feel. Now look down at your feet. Keep your arches pulling up. Keep the arches pulling up. So don't let your feet collapse in. Pull the arches up and then straighten up. Walk to the back of the chair and come into Tadasana. So hands are down, palms are forward, ears are lined up over shoulders. So there's a little bit of a double chin action going on there. Okay. Great. Now we'll take the chair to the side and we'll do a little bit of balance. See how this works for you. So put your weight into your right foot and lift your left leg into what we call like the figure four kind of. And then rotate the leg out and back in. Rotate the leg out and back in. Okay, so an external rotation and back to center. Good. External rotation, back to center. Now, when you come back this time, can you take either your pant legs or the top of your foot? I'll turn this way for you. Either the top of your foot, fingers going in the opposite direction as the toes. Open up through your chest. Standing leg is strong. Now, if you can't quite make that happen, just hold the foot back here as if you are making it happen. Feel your hamstrings working as you flex through this back foot. Good. And then release. Okay. Let's try the other side. So pick up the right knee. You've got the kind of a figure four here, and then we'll externally rotate, open the leg, come back to center. Okay, after we do that a few times, then we either reach back for our pant leg. You might find your pants like that. If you can find your foot and bring your toes and your fingers in opposite directions. That opens up through the front of the chest. And you can pull your heel back towards your buttocks and maybe your knee back. And if that is not a happening thing for you, if you can't reach it, just bend, flex through your lifted leg and just draw the foot and the knee back. You'll feel your hamstring engage. And release all that and come back to sitting on your chair. Okay. Take that same little wavy action with your knees. Close your eyes. Let your hips go too. Just a little wavy action. Spine is nice and tall though. Out and in with the legs. Now walk your feet forward. You still are on the edge of your chair. Bring your forearms to your thighs. Turn or tilt the pelvis forward so you have an arch in your back. And then take a little deeper fold. Maybe you can get your head to rest into your hands. That depends on sort of the length of your torso. Just folding here. Now, what happened to the legs? Keep the legs engaged. Keep pulling up your arches. Keep pulling the kneecaps up. Even though you're not standing, you want that engagement in the legs in this fold. Then you can walk, put one hand on one thigh, one on the other, and press yourself up to upright. Okay, and then we'll turn so that we've got one butt cheek hanging off the side of the chair, and the other arm can wrap around the back. So I'm on the side of the chair. I've got one sit bone on the chair. The other one's sort of hanging out, my butt cheek's hanging out. And I'm gonna bring my leg back, top of the foot to the floor. Press into that foot. Change my orientation of my camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing with my foot. So I've got one butt cheek on the side of the chair. I've got my arm wrapped around, holding onto the back of the chair, top of the foot to the floor. And I'm pressing down into the top of my foot. Pressing down into the top of my foot. Then I'm going to slide my foot along the floor and turn my toes under and press my heel back, sort of pulse that. Great. And then come back to center and do the easy side. So one cheek's hanging off. I got my arm around the back, top of the foot to the floor, and I'm going to press the top of my foot into the floor. Spine is tall, little anterior tilt, forward tilt in the pelvis. Lifting this space, the back of your skull towards ceiling and wall where they meet. So it's a little double chin, you tucked in slightly. Great, now you slide your foot forward so you can turn your toes under, all 5 toes if possible, and then pulse your heel back and forth. Turn back to the center, come to the edge of the chair. Take a good deep breath here. See if you can maintain that nice upright spine as you close your eyes down. I'm going to just do 3 ohms, and you can do a silent ohm, like a humming ohm inside, or you could just listen. And we're listening for this sort of vibration that allows us to feel, get that felt sense of the pulsing through our body. So if you can look at my hands for a minute, it's almost like if these were my feet, right? I'm pulling energy up from the ground, and it's like you have feet all the way up through your body with all these diaphragms that move and pulse like a jellyfish. Okay, so here we go. Relax your shoulder tops. Tuck your chin in slightly, like you're doing a double chin imitation. Just have enough engagement to sit up tall in your chair. Oh. 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 Beautiful. So to access that vibration again and really feel for that pulsing, it doesn't have to be an ohm, could be ohming, could just be humming to yourself, really, really good for our nervous system, or listening to some music and dancing it out. Namaste. Have a great day.